Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Enough with Mama J. So glad you could join me again on Thursday. If you got to see me earlier today, this is my later show where we let our hair down. As you can see, I let my hair down. Or we shave off our hair. We are a little bit more relaxed, just taking it easy. This is my show where I bring on my musicians, my artists, friends, all the people that are more of the right-brainedness. Brainedness? I make up stuff.
It's right brain.
Yeah, just right brain, whatever. So this evening I have this amazing artist that I literally picked up at a Starbucks.
Yeah, literally, she's not lying. Hi, all.
This is Justin Giacobbe. How you doing?
Yeah, there you go. Bring out the guinea in you.
Yeah. He was actually at a Starbucks recently where I was actually having a little business meeting with one of my producer directors of my show. And I came across his table as he was working on an art piece. I'm like, wow, that's really cool. Who are you? What's your name? What do you do?
Yeah, you're pretty upfront.
Yeah. So how you been since we first met?
Pretty good. Busy.
Busy?
Still busy, yeah.
Well, what have you
life.
been doing? How did you come across being this gifted?
It originally started with all my cousins, actually. The male cousins in the family are all gifted. We all have a certain talent.
Really?
Yeah, my cousin AJ, he actually works at Standing Art Tattoos, and he does all my, I would say 90% of my work, and that's in Port Richey, and he's definitely gifted. He does more of the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, all that eerie, trippy stuff.
But he's good at it.
He's good at it. Fabulous.
And then my cousin Joey. He does more of the anime-ish art, and he's trying to become an actual animation artist. So
awesome, very cool.
And I do more of the traditional art. So
yes, he does definitely do more of the traditional, more realistic.
Yeah, sometimes
a little bit of abstract.
That's this week's endeavor, I guess.
Oh,
yeah.
Going more abstract this week?
Yeah, it all depends on the mood, like know how
Gotcha.
Geminis are. Yes, I'm a Gemini, I have to admit.
So, when you're not doing your artwork, you do what?
I work for the Coast Guard, believe it or not.
Yes, people. I snagged me a coastie.
I kind of try.
Represent. Ooh.
Yeah, that's right. Best branch ever. Semper Paratus.
Yes.
That's the way we roll. Always born, always ready.
Oh, absolutely. My father was a Coast Guard.
Really?
Man. So once I saw some of you guys in uniform, like, ooh.
Some people either love it or hate it. One of the girls makes fun of, I can't say any names, but she's like, I feel like a mechanic in all these dressed blues. I'm like, I love it. It makes me feel good.
Yeah, there is always something about a uniform with attractive guys that take care of their bodies and serve our country.
Hey, that's what we're here for.
But of course, if you go for the women in the uniforms, hey, it works better that way too as well. So
it floats both ways.
So how old were you when you started doing this artwork?
I was give or take 4 years old, I started off with drawing, believe it or not.
Wow. And were you like following an internal guidance, like, or did you feel that the presence of the higher divinity of God or whatever, was that ever an inspiration that?
It was more of a drive, and it's still in me today.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, doing Coast Guard, whatever I choose to do, I just have that drive, a goal. I'm like a fighter. And I say, and it started off drawing with Mario Brothers. I looked at it, I'm like, I can draw this. The first time I attempted, it did not come out the way I wanted. It took me a little bit, but finally I caught my niche when I was young, you know. I just was lucky, you know.
Wow, fascinating. And so, are you the only person? You were talking about your cousins are all gifted. How about in your immediate family? You said that you're what, the oldest, and you have yourself and
I have two other sisters.
two other sisters. Do
Yeah.
they all look up to you? And
Sometimes it all depends. So, you know, sibling rivalry, you know. But for the most part, we're like a old school traditional Italian family. We're there for each other when, you know, when
the
all,
going gets tough.
oh yeah, been there thick and thin,
Even if
like
somebody,
a pack of wolves.
even if somebody like messes up really bad, you're like,
Absolutely, hands down.
blood is thicker than water.
Yes, it is. There are many, and yes, I'm probably going to be crucified for saying this, but most of America doesn't know what real family is about. Well, come to the Giacobbe house. We'll show you what family's about.
Right.
So.
Well, I have noticed. I come from a Sicilian crazy family.
Yeah.
We fight really hard.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, we do love each other very, very much. But we have our tempers that fly, and we just have this natural thing about fighting and arguing. But as we're all getting older, we're realizing the peace that's coming over the family.
And that comes with wisdom too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as you get older, you're just like, is it really worth it? Nah, too much energy.
Exactly. So, me being the oldest of 5, I've been doing a lot of prayer and centering and everything to really help that come over my family, because we have definitely gone through some wallopers for sure.
Wow.
So, but I'm to the point in my life that if I'm ever to get married or whatever, it has to be with somebody that comes from a crazy family that's Sicilian, Italian, Irish, something, and it has to come from a large family of some sort. You know, it can't be a single one person, no siblings, because
you can't. Yeah, you can't relate on the same pages.
Exactly.
Trust me. Or in my situation, yeah, I'm probably digging up the deep right now, but I've always tried playing the knight in shining armor. You know what I mean?
Aww.
Showing them what family is all about. Yeah, look, I'm still single. I'm okay with that for now. Trust me. But you're absolutely right. You have to find what the best match is for you and how it goes. And when you try rushing things, it doesn't happen. And I showed in my art, I don't ever rush it. It just goes with the flow.
Right. How long does it usually take for you to do your pieces once you start them?
If I have the time or not?
Yeah.
Normally on a watercolor, I do anything from 48 to 60 inches. It all depends on the size of mat board I use. I choose mat board because how I do watercolor, I saturate more with paint than water ratio. But
so it comes off looking more like an acrylic or like an oil or something?
It all depends on how I want it. But like a couple of the pieces you'll see.
Like this one right here?
That definitely looks more like, I wouldn't say an oil. It's a cross between definitely a water base, like an acrylic, I would have to say. Because people are like, there's no way that's a watercolor. I'm like, yeah, that's watercolor all the way.
That's beautiful.
And that's actually one of my little siblings.
That's one of his siblings that you did back in what, 2000 you said? Or
yeah, this is actually probably like 2004, 2005.
Wow. And then you've just been evolving from from this. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really amazing.
I would have brought some of my other pictures in, but currently they're like being either framed or showing or in a gallery right now. Actually,
Which gallery?
It's named No Naked Walls. This girl, her name's Erica Yerbanovich. She
Look her up, everybody.
Yeah, she does phenomenal work. I don't trust anybody to do my cliches, to touch my framing at all. I mean, I've been going to her for 10 plus years.
Where's her gallery located?
It's in Newport Richey off Ridge Road.
Okay. Hope everybody's catching that. And if you don't, just rewatch this episode and you'll get it.
Yeah. She does amazing work.
Very good.
And back to family. It's a family-owned place. So.
The elements of family in our societies. I definitely feel that it depends on the culture.
Absolutely.
Some cultures are definitely more family oriented than others. In America, it's very disconnected. It's always about how fast you can grow up and get kicked out of the house instead of just sticking with each other until somebody moves out. Because there's a lot of cultures that I've come across in my life journey, is that families live under the same roof, and it doesn't matter how old you are until you get married off.
Yeah, that's normally how it works in old school Italian. Middle Eastern families are that way. I know that for a fact.
Personal experience, huh?
I don't know what you're talking about. Not at all. But I mean, it should be that way. I mean, if we went back to our grassroots, we could actually trust our neighbors back in the 50s. I mean, and I know it shows I'm not that old, but I'm like an old soul in a young body. That's what I'm told.
Yes.
When I was younger, I always wanted to grow up. I always hung out with the older crowd, and I'm actually still that way. I would never want to be a kid again. And I had a great childhood.
Really?
Yeah. I was fascinated by the stories, you know what I mean? And then now people look at me and I'm the one telling stories. I'm like, whoa, what the heck happened?
Well, what are some of the stories that you really want to end up telling throughout your life that you can leave for the next generations?
I currently actually I'm building that story right now. Mm-hmm. In the Coast Guard, my career, for my unit, I'm doing communications. That's really all I can talk about, but I know
anything else would get in trouble.
Yeah, no. I play a role of training a lot, and I like to train. I can talk to anybody. I mean, if you had a rock right there, I could probably talk to it and be totally content. But
well, clearly, that's why we connected when we were at Starbucks.
That's true. You're absolutely right on that. But basically, what it all comes down to, I was actually, when I was going through boot camp, this is what made me say, wow, this is definitely my calling, part of my life. I think art is my other calling.
Yes, I would have to agree 100%. They're just amazing pieces.
Thank you.
I could totally see them being on album covers, as if we went back to vinyl or something again.
It's getting popular. I mean, that's the in thing now. And I don't honestly, like, with this nostalgic value of going back to grassroots, like I said, I mean, that's what society will do. I mean, eventually when everything shuts down, we'll go back to our grassroots. I
think we're already in that process. Yeah. And on my earlier show today, I'm kind of tying it in. We were talking about intentional communities and everything, where people come together to really rebond with each other and help each other.
It's sad because the last time we really actually rebonded was 9/11. I mean, as bad as that sounds, it has to be a tragedy that brings people together. Really? Come on, people.
Well, what my purpose in this life, I feel, is to reach out to as many people as possible, to inspire them to connect without a tragedy needing to be involved, to find a connection with people just for the pure element of opening hearts and allowing the wholeheartedness of the pureness of a person to come through. Because that's where I'm at in my life, where I'm about totally being authentic. What you see is what you get, whether you agree with it or not. I mean, I'm more of a place of peace and happiness, where I was authentic, but I was coming from a place of anger and hurt at some points in my life. So that's what I want to inspire with a lot of people. So do you also have some other pieces to show us?
I actually do. Hold on one second.
Okay, he's going to show a couple more pieces. Let's see. Do you have any pieces that are downloaded yet?
Well, I just have the one that he sent me by email. I looked up. There's a bunch of pictures, but I don't know which ones are his. Are any of these? I know it's kind of probably hard to see. I don't know which ones are.
I'd be blind now. That's go up a little bit.
Well, everybody, as Justin is over there with our technician, our engineer, see this right here is one of his pieces that he's done as well. This is amazing detail with this motorcycle. If this should inspire any of you that own a motorcycle or want to own a motorcycle, here's definitely something to take a look at and take into that dealership and say, I want one like this.
Wow, that is really nice. That is really cool.
Was this a watercolor?
Yes, that is a watercolor. That actually... Back in, if any of you actually know who, like, biker build-offs are.
Ah.
Take a guess whose bike that is.
The dude that you were just talking about. I don't know.
He owned Choppers Inc.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Those chopper guys?
Yeah,
This is live,
Billy,
people. This is what we do here.
Improv, gotta love it. Billy Lane.
It's all good. It's all good.
He came out with this bike, and I was amazed by it. And I'm like, I have to paint this thing. You know what I mean? But I changed it up a little bit, because you never can actually do an original of something, even if you try as hard as you can. But he got into some trouble. So yeah, he's away in bars. So it's a shame, but he built some of the most beautiful motorcycles, and I was inspired to paint one of his bikes. So
I'm just really amazed that this is a watercolor piece, because it looks as if it would be pencil or marker or acrylic type.
Yeah, a lot of and the funny thing is, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I bet you're a righty." I said, "Nope, I'm actually southpaw. I'm lefty." So that
You're in your right mind.
Yeah, exactly. It's like crisscross. That piece took about 70 hours.
70 hours.
Yep.
Not a full week. Beyond a full week.
Yeah, beyond a full week, on and off for about like 6 months, because I was going through A school at the time. I was actually in Petaluma, California.
Okay, so this was something that you would do on your weekends, per se.
Whenever some nights I got time to do it, and then other days I didn't. You know what I mean? It all depended on the need of the Coast Guard, as you per se.
Gotcha. Here, put that up like this.
There you go.
There you go.
Oh.
Can you all hear us now?
Yeah.
We're good.
So,
well, how is it being an artist? Because I'm trying to imagine, okay, if I was an artist, like, where do you start off, and how do you know what to add if you're doing it not in just one big swoop? Or do you, like, do the sketching first and then, like, add the color? Is that how it goes?
Normally how I do it, it all depends on the subject. But with the bikes, I normally start off actually with the tank because that's the center focal point right here.
Okay.
And then I just draw it out. And then I'll do like create my coloring book, as you call it, and then just go at it. And then once the bike is actually done, then the rest of it's just filler. It goes fast after that. The engine's a pain in the butt to do. That just takes forever.
That would be the engine.
Yes.
That is some really, really good detail.
Thanks. Yeah, it's funny because people are like, oh, you have so much detail and so much a little area. I'm like, it's a piece to my mind.
Yeah, I mean, and you've never gone to school for anything like this.
No, I haven't. I have a business degree in from a couple schools. I went to USF for a little bit, and then I got
good party school, right?
Go
sometimes.
Bulls.
Sometimes, we got a Bulls fan in, and then I bad relationship, so I wound up finishing my schooling with Hodges University out of Naples. But yeah, I got a bachelor's in business and minor criminology, minor psych, and nothing in art.
And yet, everybody, this is what we get. Amazing. Truly amazing.
I got a story to tell you. It's funny.
Ooh, he's got a story.
All right.
Go ahead.
Every time that I've gone to a university, I was dating a girl actually at FSU, and I went to the art department over there. And you know what Dadaism is? You ever hear that? You know what Dadaism is?
No.
Is that da 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 da?
Something like that. It's basically BS art. It's nonsense art.
Nonsense. I might even be able to qualify for that.
Well,
BS art.
You know the stool with the unicycle sticking out of it, and they call that art, and it goes for
like,
1.5 million or some
is it like
BS like that.
That weird stuff you see in those modern art museums, kind of like the nonsense stuff.
I would consider it that way, but don't tell an art enthusiast that. They'll freaking.
Well, shoot. Then I have some pieces I've done myself. I need to get it in there.
Make 1.5 million, maybe. Yeah, they'll be like, no, you're overqualified.
Yeah, you work hard on your stuff. Well, I don't know how hard people to do modern art, but yours is like, it's a thing that makes sense and it's really nice, but some of that modern art stuff is just like a blob. It's just like a blob of ink, and you think like, how much time did they really put into that?
And then they're like, oh, it's art. It's so dramatic. So I'm like, no.
Some of it I have seen. I'm like, wow, if they can suddenly become famous over that, surely my stuff that I've done with my kids when they were young can be something.
Well, the thing is, it's about being at the right place at the right time, you know.
It's who you know.
Yep, goes back to politics.
Oh, it's always about who you know. Hey,
unfortunately,
everybody out there, I'm trying to get to know you. Call in. Let me know if you're somebody that knows somebody. So, we're going to take a little break, and we're going to show something that he has done when you were on a tour.
Yes, I was in Kuwait when I was overseas, and it actually, this piece is pretty meaningful to me. It made Maxim magazine for February edition of 2012. I mean, it's a little article, but you could still see in the background, and I'll tell you the story of that.
Sweet.
In a minute.
Awesome.
Trying to get the picture up there and the music at the same time, but it's not working.
Oh, technical difficulties. Love it.
Always.
Gotta love it.
Okay, we'll just
as
get
long
the
as
music.
you're not getting in trouble for this.
Oh no. Why?
Maybe. It might be a lot of work on this one.
Turn off the music. Hello, welcome back. Hello, welcome back.
Yay.
We are back on, and
Yeah.
as you can see, you could probably hear me and Justin, but what you see is his mural.
Yeah, that was I'm representing my my unit there. When I went overseas, I did this. I was actually going through some pretty rough times at the time.
Of
But,
course.
They said, "You want to do a wall mural?" I said, I'm good at it." So they gave me a little bit of time to do it. And as I was coming to the States, I was telling my boy Izzy, his name's Izzy blah 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 blah. They call him Alphabet Soup because he has every name. I mean every
letter of the alphabet in his
except
name.
for like 3.
Wow.
Yeah, so
that's impressive. You go. Is the alphabet soup?
Alphabet Soup. But he calls me up. He's like, "Did you do a wall mural?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "I know your style." He's like, "You made Maxim magazine." And when we were in A school, this kid would always collect them. I'm like, "Why do you collect all these magazines?" He's like, "Because I love Maxim, man. Look at all these girls." I'm like, "Dude."
Yeah, the girls are
You
pretty
could-
hot. I
yeah,
have to admit.
they are. But
I even have to admit the girls are pretty hot. I always wanted to be in Maxim, and then I just got anyways. Go on.
gosh, no, that's a 19-year-old boy. Go figure.
Right.
At the time, he was young, but so I went out and I bought it, and I'm like, "Oh, get the heck out of here!" And then my CO at the time embarrassed me. I'm sitting there like it was our last day where we're at for DMOB, and he calls and he says, "Jacoby, front center." I'm like, "Oh gosh, what's going on here?" And then everybody starts clapping. "Just to let you know that OS 3, I was a third class at the time. Jacoby made Maxim magazine for our unit." So it was quite interesting.
Awesome. And you put a nice little piece of American art
In Kuwait, that's right.
in Kuwait.
That's right.
Talk about helping international relations.
Yeah.
Because you beautified a certain area with your artwork.
Absolutely. Now it has blues and other colors. I mean,
Yeah.
it's actually over there. It's quite hot. I'm not gonna lie, it's hot.
It's hot.
Yeah, it's very very
And
hot.
people go over there to take pictures. And
Oh, there's a lot of tourists over there. I mean, they have their tourist spots just like anywhere else. I mean,
do they have Disney World yet?
I don't know. I haven't checked over there. Last time when I was over there, I was so busy. It was just like working. It was a lot of work.
I've
But-
often wondered if there's going to be a Disney in every continent at some time.
I'm sure they're working on that. Disney's taking over the world, slowly but surely.
Oh, that's another opinion of mine.
Yeah, that's an offline coffee break, right?
Yes,
Gotcha.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. So, what is it that you're going to do? Are you going to stay in the Coast Guard and
I probably will.
retire and always be my guest? So, how's it going? And
Yeah, I'm always going to be in the Coast Guard. One thing about me, regardless, like if I ever made it big, even if I was a artist, I would still contribute to the Coast Guard, stay in reserves, do my thing, because I enjoy it. Earlier when we were talking, there was a girl that when I was going through boot camp, she opened my eyes so much.
real now, how did she do that?
Not like you think.
I don't
But,
know what you're
hey,
thinking.
Okay, but that's another story in itself. No, I'm kidding. But she dated a Marine before she joined the Coast Guard, and she was beaten.
Oh my!
And one day she stood up and took him out and got arrested, and he tried pressing charges and everything, and of course he won. But
Uh-uh.
the flip side, of the story, she beat him up a Marine. I mean, that's not. If a person deserves it, they deserve it, in my opinion. But they waived her to come into the Coast Guard, and she's like, if I can go through anything, and here I am today, anybody can.
Mm-hmm.
And it just opened my eyes, and like from that point on, my next goal is to be what we call drill instructors, or CC, company commander. I want to do that so I can help people coming in, and if I could just touch one person's life and turn it around, mission accomplished. That's it. That's all I want to do. You know what I mean? Because I heard that story, and the military has changed my life. It made me more disciplined, because I used to be just off the typical Italian, but I definitely have
more discipline.
Much more discipline. I know chain of command. I follow rules. And it's funny because you would ask me this years ago. You joined the military? Pfft, no. and it's funny, I should have did it years ago.
But you've been in for how long thus far?
About between 4 and 5 years.
So you kind of went in a little late?
Yep. I was definitely more mature when I went in. And
how old were you?
I was 26 going on 20. No, I was 25 going on 26 when I went in. And I graduated on my 26th birthday. So
really?
Bam, yeah.
Oh. Hope y'all are getting this, ladies. He's a cutie pie, artist.
My attitude sometimes you'll think otherwise.
But that's a male thing.
Yeah.
No offense, but it's a male thing.
You're right. The males are hot-headed and they're stubborn, and they think logic and blah 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 blah.
And women, we are emotional and we are sensitive for good reason, because we're the ones that help open up the heart. But men have it as well. It's just a matter of men
trying to find it.
men reconnecting with that aspect of themselves, because you men go through so much because of society has put it on you that you have to be this really roughneck, this really mean guy, tough, But deep down inside, I've been realizing that you men are masculine, but you guys are sensitive, and you do have feelings, and you do have emotion, and there is a depth to every single one of you. It's just that, just like us women, when you get heartbroken, it gets shut down and walls go up. So we both suffer in this similar ways. It's just you men end up handling it differently from us women, but us women, we've become so masculated, and then we try to emasculate you masculine men, and that's where the conflict comes in at, and that's what really needs to be healed among the sexes,
Yeah, and you're absolutely right when it comes to today's society, especially with broken families.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the females play the male role as well, and now men are playing the female role.
Oh, yes. Single dads.
Yeah, exactly. Single dads. I mean, I talked to a couple guys in the Coast Guard that are that way, and it's just like, it blows my mind. You know what I mean? Because I was just so used to, I grew up because both my parents are still together, and I'm actually the black sheep of the group with the divorces.
Because your parents are still married, happily married.
Yes, happily married.
They're even affectionate to each other.
Yes, they are.
Aw, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you guys are sick. No, really. How they're affectionate. It's quite funny. We're pretty quirky but loud. Typical Italian family.
That happens with my family too. Unfortunately, my Papa Bear, he's on the other side, but my mother misses him. We all miss my pops tremendously.
Sorry to hear
so
that.
much that my poor Papa Bear, he thought I was going to leave the house, and I'll be darned if he back in the house. My brother got a photo of just his face that's this big.
Whoa.
this big.
It's like, you can't forget about me now.
Yeah, and he's on the couch, and there he sits, and that's where he was when he was still with us and everything. I'm like, well, Dad, it looks like you never left.
Yeah.
But he was a real pain in my butt growing up. But as I evolved, he evolved. My relationship with my parents did evolve. So there was a lot of healing that did take place, thankfully. And so I have really, I try to pick out most of the good memories of the later years as opposed to the earlier years when I was like, yay.
I think that's just adolescence in general.
Yeah, at times. And then sometimes it's like, wow, Dad, if you would have been this way when I was younger, my whole life would have been different. But that's neither here or there, because after the age of 25, I think you really have to stop blaming your parents for everything and just start looking at it as, okay, well, this was a logical thing that happened. And how am I going to deal with this now? And how can I change it now? And what type of person do I really want to be from this point on? Am I always going to allow my past to define me as I am now?
And sometimes people get caught up in it. And I'm not going to lie, I got caught up with it a couple times, but you got to shake it off and move forward.
Mm-hmm. So, do you think you'll ever have a child that you'll want to have for yourself and want to inspire, or do you want to save that mostly for your boot camp type trainings?
Currently, right now, I'll probably save that for the boot camp.
Yeah.
Watch them grow. I mean, they got, especially a lot of kids. When I went through, I was one of the older ones, of course, because there were people that were like 19, 18, 17. Some of their parents were like, go off. So... But the good thing was they got to learn at an early age. Unfortunately, some of them didn't make it a career, but that's fine. As long as they become a better person in the overall grand scheme of things, that's all that matters. You know what I mean?
So do you think the Coast Guard is much more humane compared to other militaries? Do they treat you more like a human being as opposed to like a robot or somebody that's just supposed to be this?
Like a lot of people are like, oh, if I were to join the Coast Guard, is it just like the same as every other branch? In certain aspects, we're a lot different. I mean, our mission's totally different. We're a law enforcement based, as well as our bread and butters, hand down, is search and rescue. Always has been, always will be, since the Revenue Cutter Service from 1790 till the current date.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I'm a history buff when it comes to the Coast Guard, especially. So.
Oh, what else can you tell us about the Coast Guard then?
Fun-filled fact:
yes.
The Coast Guard is the only continuous branch from 1790 on. We've been in every war, and we've never been decommissioned. The Army and Navy were decommissioned right before, actually right after the Revolutionary War, and recommissioned right before the War of 1812.
Really?
Yep.
And yet, I do not recall hearing anything about this in the history books in high school.
Yeah, they'll only let you know about certain presidents. They'll let you know about the Army, the Navy. The Coast Guard's kind of like the redheaded stepchild of all the branches. Yeah, hence our budget funds and whatnot. I mean, but there's only 42,000 of us strong.
Really?
Yep. And there's 7,000 reservists. And the funny thing is, auxiliarists, Coast Guard Auxiliary, there's 28,000 volunteers. I mean, a lot of people give them grief. You know what? They're older and they're doing boat safety and educating the rest of America on how to drive a boat. I'm all right with that. You know what I mean? Education, training, it doesn't matter if you're a civilian or you're in the military or whatever. I'm all about never plateau. Always look forward, always educate, evolve, survive.
Absolutely.
So
I think it's a good thing that you're in the Coast Guard and that you're going to be that type of teacher and that type of drill sergeant as you go through your career and everything. So I really do hope that you keep putting your artwork out.
Absolutely.
Do you have any other pieces that you have to show us?
I do. I do, actually.
Yay! He's going to get up again.
Don't cry while I'm gone.
He is going to get... Oh, yes. This is actually the piece that stopped me at the Starbucks, actually. Which I found on the internet, and I actually posted it up on Facebook. So hopefully everybody, if you're on Facebook, this is the primary one. What do you title this anyways?
This one I actually just finished last Sunday, and it's called The Waves of Time and Fate.
Wow.
So, yeah, I wanted to step away from my, like, realistic stuff, and I'm like, you know what, let me do, like, a little bit of surreal / abstract. So I was like, yeah, you know what, let's do it.
And I love the turtle.
Who doesn't love the turtle?
It's very mesmerizing with all the different colors, and it made me think of Nemo for a split second, seeing the turtle.
Yep, same here. Same here.
You thinking of Squirt?
Is that what it was?
The little one? Yeah, the
little
Squirt.
Yeah.
Squirt.
So, but this was another watercolor piece that you did. Do you ever do acrylics or oils?
I do very, very few. The reason why I do watercolor, it happens to be my favorite medium. It just like once you have it there, it's stained. You can't go over it again unless it's a darker color. Just like, I mean, you can't really compare a tattoo to watercolor, but once the ink is there, you only can go darker. You know what I mean?
So it's different from an acrylic then?
Yeah. See, if you paint on canvas with acrylic, and you can always sand it down and paint over it.
I did not know
With
that.
watercolor, if water hits this, it will start, even right now, like I have, because the weather conditions were pretty crappy out today, so I was
past couple of days.
Yeah. And the sunshine state? Nah, it's more like the rain state. No. Most of the time
Maybe
we're
in Washington State now, all of a sudden they're super sunny. Like
I know,
we switched.
it's like I feel like I'm definitely in like New York or whatnot.
Right?
You know what I mean? But
That's where you're from originally, right?
I was actually born down here.
Shut the front door.
I swear on my life, I was born in Dunedin, Florida.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and when you're surrounded by, let's see, a crap load of
Italian.
Italian
from
New Yorkers. Yeah,
New Jersey. How you doing?
It's hard to shake the dialect for sure. You know, I try actually suppressing it unless I'm like, unless I'm really tired. Then I'm like, I don't care.
Oh.
So
beautiful. So we're gonna have another little break, and we will be back.
All right,
in a couple minutes.
Give me just a second here. I have a question before
Oh,
we go.
yay!
Fire away.
Gary
Before
has a
we go
question.
on break. What is going to be your next piece of artwork, or have you come up with an idea for your next big project?
I was actually thinking of a couple of things. Believe it or not, one of my favorite animals are any type of whale, normally orca. I've never painted an orca before. I was just like, you know what? Let me try it.
Oh, that's going to be exciting. I'll
And
have to
then-
have you back on the show once you do that.
And then, yeah, that would be cool. And then,
It's the start of a beautiful friendship.
yeah, exactly. See, all new chapters have to begin somewhere, right?
Exactly.
Doesn't
exactly.
matter what place or time in a Starbucks.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
So,
do you guys have military balls and stuff like that?
Coast Guard doesn't have funds too.
What? That's unfair.
No, but-
Okay, I'm pleading with those people out there. Give the coasties more money so they can get some of the fun stuff like all the other militaries do. Because if it wasn't for you guys, nobody would be found that's lost at sea and everything. Because I did see that movie, The Guardian.
The Guardian.
I know it was probably an over-embellished, Well,
I mean,
how accurate was it? Or was it just
Well,
more over the top?
it was more. You would actually have to ask a survival swimmer. That's definitely not my job.
Right.
I'm the 911 operator that sends them out.
Right,
so
right.
that's only one of my jobs. But
You got any of those guys that you're friends with?
No, they're two. I'm social status. I'm up here and you're down here. I'm like, whatever.
Aw. Well, that's where you guys need to become friends and say, hey, I know this really cool chick called Mama J. She wants you guys to come up on her show. Because
most of the time though, they're you barely see them because they're always out. They're always doing training. I mean, I tip even though like I may not agree. I'm a very social person. I'll talk to anybody, just about. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The stuck up people, not really. But I mean, they do a job too. You know what I mean?
Maybe they're just shy.
Maybe.
Or maybe they just have a lot of other stuff going on. And
they do.
Maybe they're not actually stuck up. Maybe they're just got too many other things to concern them with other people that's beyond their scope of practice.
Or maybe they're just focused on the mission. Who knows?
Yes.
But
much like the Special Forces guys.
I'm just gonna stick to they're stuck up. No. I really joke around a lot, so don't take me serious when it comes to that kind of stuff. So
yeah, because y'all are part of the same team.
Absolutely. Just like it doesn't matter what military branch you are. I mean, whether you are defending the country or saving lives, or it doesn't matter. We all have a specific function. I mean, we will be together to the end. You know what I mean? And that's how it should be.
Absolutely. It shouldn't be anything where you guys should keep yourselves separate, because all of you on some level put your lives on the line to keep everybody else safe. You know, and you become the property of the U.S.
It's true.
And that is
but you know what? Like, honestly, a lot of people are like, oh, does that bother you that you're government property? I said, you know what? If I didn't believe it, I wouldn't be doing this function. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's in my blood and veins to do this.
Right.
And I'll die as an American. That's it.
Very cool. So what do we got going on now, Gary?
Did you want to take another quick break before
Sure.
Before we finish? All right, then
we'll be back, everybody, real soon. Take a breather.
Here we
go. Grab some coffee or a soda. Make that drink. We'll be back. Hello, we're back. Did you miss us? Yes,
Yes
we
or no?
are still here. By the way, what's your favorite type of music? Aha!
My favorite type of music definitely would have to be rock, hands down.
Like rock, like heavy metal
Yes.
rock,
You say it, I'll say yes. Believe it or not, I'm the only.
heavy metal.
It all depends on my mood. If I'm in the gym, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. As I Lie Dying is my band. Either that or Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against Machine.
Yeah, bringing you back.
Yeah.
But like
No Metallica or
it all depends. I've actually been listening to a lot of they're like an indie band. They're called Explosions in the Sky. You got to check them out. They're awesome, hands down.
Explosions in the Sky. I wonder what inspired that name.
I don't know. It's a cool name though, but like it's all instrumental, believe it or not. It's
really?
all yeah. It's actually it's really a cool band, and Band of Horses. They're a cool band too.
So what do you like to do when you're not doing your artwork and you're not working out and you're not being a coastie? Like, what do you like to do for fun?
Concerts.
What kind of concerts? Just rock?
Yeah, well, I've only gone to rock concerts, believe it or not. I've gone to like a couple jazz concerts here and there, like local bands. But
I love seeing local bands.
yeah, hands down. I support the local crowd no matter what, whether it's businesses. I'm all about the mom and pop shops. And you'll always see me, no lie, you'll always see me in Tarpon Springs. That's home to me.
Oh, Greek
Yeah.
food.
And it's funny because every time I go, I would say the last few times they didn't really harass me, but when I go in there, I see the Greek people that are like, "Are you Italian?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they just start speaking Greek. I'm like, "Oh." Next time I'm just going to say, "No, I'm Greek."
Yeah, you should, just to see how they react
No,
to you.
and then they'll start speaking Greek, and I'll be like, "No, I don't know that." Yeah, I'm going to order, I could say that, right?
So did you go to Tarpon High?
No, I actually, it's funny. I was born in Dunedin, and we lived in Tarpon for a while, and then we moved up to Spring Hill.
That's kind of country.
Yeah, that is country. It's actually they call it Little New York now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there's a lot of New Yorkers over there. They're like, "Oh, where are you from?" "Oh, I'm from Brooklyn." "Yeah." Oh, I'm from Staten Island. "Oh, I'm from Long Island." I'm blah 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 blah. I'm like, "Oh, yeah, whatever."
I would have never thunk it that Spring Hill would be turning into Little New York.
Yeah, and
that must be trippy.
Yeah, it's. I'm not gonna lie. It is. It's pretty wild. I mean, it's populated in the last 5 years. It's like a little suburbia.
I was in Orlando for the past 14, 15 years, and all the New Ricans came down there.
Oh Lord. No, you know what? Honestly, like they're
Little Puerto Rico, and either the island or the New York version is in Orlando.
The reason why I said "oh Lord," my brother, he's not really my brother-in-law. My cousin Melissa, he's Joey, and he's New York. Oh my God, he's so funny. And I'm just thinking of all the things that we used to do together. I'm like, oh my, you're bringing me back memories now.
Well, that's a good thing. I hope they're happy, good memories.
Oh, no, absolutely. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. And, well, Joey was telling me when he first moved from New York, because he's originally from Brooklyn, too, go figure. He moved actually to Kissimmee area. So that's why I was just like, wow. Because, I mean, you'll see a lot of New York Ricans out there.
Oh, yeah, that Kissimmee area. Most definitely. Anyways.
Yeah, there's one of my tangents.
I happily go on many of them. Well, I'm glad that you came on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And I might have to hit you up if I decide to have some sort of Mama J harem where I auction off bachelors.
Oh.
I might just do that. I thinking about something. I don't know if it's actually going to work in time for Valentine's Day by any means, but something in the near future. Maybe by my birthday. I don't know. Get lucky. I mean, one of Mama J's harem guys, you know.
You're just like, let's play auction time now.
Yeah, and get a nice plethora of good men that have intelligence, personality, creativity, intellect.
That's someone that's all well around, like
Exactly.
a Renaissance man. Is that what you're looking for? See,
You got it. I think this is going to be a contest. I want to start looking for the new Renaissance men of Tampa Bay.
good luck with that.
I know. This is why it's going to be like a real search, right?
Hey,
I'd
if
like
you're
to be a part of that.
Oh. Okay. We'll see what you can do. What kind of tricks can you do?
Well, I can
just tell her you're gonna get back.
I can-
Be the mystery man. Say I'll get back to you on that. There you go.
Yes, I will. I will get back to you on that.
See,
Okay.
perfect.
But I think it could be fun. This is all coming to me at this very moment.
That's what you said.
Well,
Improv, sporadic.
yeah.
Gotta be that way.
But,
Keep people on their toes, right?
I think this could be something, a contest, and see how many Renaissance men will want to be part of my harem. The himum.
The hymn.
Because men have always had harems, you know, all the harems. So I'm going to make a himum.
There you go. Start somewhere and you add to them.
And have, you know, maybe about 12 guys that can qualify, and let's make it a little contest of some sort, you know, that tests all these different elements of a Renaissance
Almost like
man.
an ASVAB, like what we do.
Well, more Renaissance-ish as opposed to the ASVAB. I did take the ASVAB because I
my.
did consider going into the military.
What branch?
Air Force.
Chair force. You know, and now here I'm gonna throw the stabs in. You know what they have for a PT test?
I have no
A
idea.
Segway.
Oh gosh, too funny. But actually, I don't do well on those type of tests. And so they were like, well, we could put you in as a cook in the Army. And I'm like,
Yeah, how about
no.
I'm gonna go walk on my pec rock now.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, my house is on fire. I gotta go.
I'm like, no, because I knew within myself I would be better at something else, but them just going off a test that some people are good at tests and other people are not. I've never been that great at taking tests. That I don't know why, just not. But and then I got to the point that back then I was just too much of a free spirit. And I would have been questioning way too much of, really? You want me to do what? For what reason?
Yeah, but you know what? It's funny. Those that ask the questions are normally the ones that become the leaders.
Oh, now you tell me.
Hey.
Anyways.
I look at it this way. If it's meant to be, it'll happen. Patience is key.
Yeah, well, I've reached that age threshold to be put in the military. And at this point, it's not really my thing. I just love military people because it runs in my family. I've had my dad, my brother, my biological father, you know, my grandpas, at least one of them, they were all military men. One of my children's father was military. So I just naturally have a support and a love for all military, and God bless you all. And we're going to be closing.
That's what I like to hear. God bless you all. You know?
Yes, absolutely. I do bless everybody. I hope everybody enjoyed Late Enough with Mama J, and I hope you do decide to tune in every Thursday from 2 to 3 for Mama J Speaks Unlimited, and 7 to 8 with Late Enough with Mama J. Thank you again. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Nice meeting you guys.